Hello, happy Saturday. I thought I would stream in the middle of the day. I don't know if the usual crew is going to rock up. Probably not. They probably have lives, unlike myself, who is just, just a little sickly goth girl. Having a bad time. Well, I thought we could look at like some spooky, scary stories, but I'm sifting through YouTube currently. I was gonna make my own PowerPoints so I could like have all original content without having to reference other people's work on YouTube, because I don't really want to do that. It just seems like a minefield. And what I did learn last time is the History Channel will claim your entire video if you watch any of their stuff. They are not very nice people. Not only do they think aliens built every historical monument ever in the world, they also they also don't like people doing transformative content on their videos. Pretty mean History Channel. I think it's weird. Oh, Australia's most haunted rock, true ghost stories of Uluru. Yeah, I wouldn't climb Uluru. There's a lot of indigenous sites in Australia where like it's really bad juju to climb them. And there's like men's business and women's business, and so there's certain sites that only like women and men can go on. I think Mount Warning in Queensland is one that like women aren't supposed to climb, and if you do, it's like really bad. Because my cousin and her family, they climbed it, and I think they had really bad luck after that. We should look that up, actually. That will be interesting. But yeah, let's have a look at Cursed Rocks, Uluru's ghosts. I've never been to the Northern Territory, but I would like to go to Uluru. It's very beautiful, but I wouldn't climb it because if it's disrespectful to the local people, like why would you want to do that? And I don't fuck with ancestral ghosts and things like that. Like I am a believer. I say just leave it alone. It's not worth it. All right, let's have a look see.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're exploring the supernatural side of one of Australia's most famous landmarks, Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock. Rising from the heart of the Australian outback, this massive sandstone monolith has been the centre of ghostly encounters, mysterious shadow figures, and an ongoing curse that has plagued visitors for decades.
It's supposed to be on ley lines too. It's supposed to be like a power site, according to the people that track like ley lines and things like that. They're what the Irish call like fairy lines. It's supposed to Oh, I didn't put the video up. Sorry guys, I'm so dumb. Boop. Hope that helps. Sorry. Should we start? We'll start again.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're exploring the supernatural side of one of Australia's most famous landmarks, Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock. Rising from the heart of the Australian outback, this massive sandstone monolith has been the centre of ghostly encounters, mysterious shadow figures, and an ongoing curse that has plagued visitors for decades.
Yeah, look, if a local people with 60,000 years history in an area tell you not to climb something, don't climb something, guys. Seriously. Don't piss off the ancestors and the spirits of the land and all that. Just stay away. It's like freaking knobheads that go on ghost tours. Like, there's ghosts there. Why are you going? And then have a cry, call their only goth friend, me, because they're scared because a ghost followed them home. Well, why'd you go, you dickhead? I told you not to. And that's just me gloating because I don't fuck with that shit.
The accounts you'll hear today come from documented reports, witness testimonies, and official records maintained by park rangers and paranormal researchers. Uluru stands 1,142 feet high in Australia's Red Centre, about 280 miles southwest of Alice Springs. This ancient monolith has been sacred to the Aboriginal Anangu people for over 30,000 years, who believe it houses the spirits of their ancestors from the Dreamtime. Europeans first spotted the rock in 1873, when explorer William Christie Goss named it Ayers Rock after Sir Henry Ayers, the Chief Secretary of South Australia. What Gosse didn't know was that he had stumbled upon one of the most spiritually charged locations on Earth, a place where the living world and the spirit realm seem to overlap in ways that continue to disturb visitors today. Something strange started happening in the night.
Australia has such a magical energy that like I just don't feel anywhere else. It really is such a special place. Like when I was a teenager, I lived in a region of New South Wales called the Blue Mountains, which is also like very spiritually charged. And even if you don't believe in any of that stuff, like I'm a Catholic, but you know, you see and you feel things that are insane. Like I've spoken to a few people about this, and a lot of people have had similar experiences to me in the Blue Mountains, which are just a few hours west of Sydney. I used to do a lot of hiking, of what we call bush bashing in Australia. I used to do a lot of bush bashing when I was a teenager. Usually it was like to go get drunk in the bush or whatever. But I also just used to like looking at the show Jeopardy fucked you right off the Blue Mountains. Why? What are they saying about the Blue Mountains? The Blue Mountains are beautiful. There are a lot of cults there. I never got asked to join a cult when I was a teenager, and I was a really hot teenager. So like, why didn't you try and recruit me to your cult? Not that I would have joined, but you know, it's nice to be asked, okay? I have social inclusion needs and I want to be asked to join the cult. So I used to do a lot of like bush bashing as a teenager, because it's just a beautiful place, right? And I'm very outdoorsy. I like to go camping, I like to go bush bashing, I like to hike in, hike out of different areas, find little water holes, always finding like secret waterfalls and things like that. It was fun. Obviously I wasn't crippled with autoimmune disease then, so it was a lot easier to get around. But I always used to see this very pale girl with long dark hair wearing a white dress out of the corner of my eye. I would see her it didn't matter what part of the Blue Mountains I was in. It didn't matter if I was in Katoomba, if I was in Springwood, and these areas are like half an hour up the highway from each other. I would always see this girl. And so I started talking to people about it. They were like, oh my God, I have seen her too. I don't know what that's about, if it's like the spirit of like some convict girl, because it's obviously not like an Indigenous ghost. But yeah, I don't think anyone's ever recorded that. But yeah, I would see it was just weird, because you would just see her in your peripheral, and then you would turn and obviously there's nothing there. It was yeah. It wasn't scary though. It wasn't a bad presence. And it would have been maybe a girl like about 12 or 13 years old. Almost looks like, you know, she was in her 90 or something, just walking around the bush. Very strange, very strange. But why did the show Jeopardy put you off the Blue Mountains? I know it's a game show, right? I know that. I know it's a game show, but I don't. What did they say about the Blue Mountains? I want to know. Anyway, back to Uluru. Just went off on a tangent.
1970s that park rangers at Uluru couldn't explain. Every single day, packages began arriving at their office. Inside each package was a rock, a piece of sand, or sometimes even just a twig that someone had taken from Uluru during their visit. But these weren't ordinary returns. They came with desperate letters begging forgiveness. The letters told stories that would make your skin crawl. Families wrote about sudden deaths immediately.
Oh, isn't that where Lindsay Chamberlain's daughter Azaria got eaten by dingoes as well? I believe they were camping at the foot of Uluru when that happened. You know how there's like that quote that Americans always like to like make fun of Australians with, like, dingo ate my baby. A dingo actually did eat this poor woman's baby, and no one believed her, and she went to jail for murdering her daughter. And then all this evidence came out, and it was a dingo actually did eat her baby. I mean, they're wild dogs. Like, it's not unfathomable that they would do something like that. And I believe like on Fraser Island off the coast of Queensland, like the dingoes there are like pretty aggro as well. Like they'll just kind of go for people. So yeah, I don't know. My dogs always used to bark at the dingoes and foxes that lived in the bush behind my parents' house. But yeah, there's like, I guess there's like quolls and things like that that could give you a nasty bite, but I've never really seen them had any problems. I've seen some brown snakes and some black snakes sort of slithering ahead of me, but you know, they hear your foot vibrations and they usually fuck off pretty fast.
Immediately after returning home, business owners described their companies going bankrupt within weeks of their Uluru visit. Others told of car accidents, mysterious illnesses, and relationships falling apart for no reason at all. Park ranger Janet Morrison has been collecting these sorry rocks for over 15 years. She keeps them in a special storage room that visitors aren't allowed to see. The desperation in some of these letters is heartbreaking, Morrison explains. People are genuinely terrified of what's happening to their lives after taking something from this place.
Oh, why did they steal? Oh, so they
One letter that stands out.
So they stole rock. I don't understand people that do this, right? It's like people that go to Rome and like carve their name into the Colosseum. What is wrong with you? Get fucking help.
Came from a German family who paid enormous shipping costs to return a 9-kilogram rock. The father wrote that within days of bringing the rock home, his wife was diagnosed with cancer. His business partner stole their life savings, and their house was burglarized twice. Please take this cursed thing back, he pleaded. We just want our normal lives back. But the most extreme case involved a 32-kilogram slab of rock.
Not the game show one, a paranormal BBC one. Oh, that sounds interesting. I really, really do like British TV shows. They're especially the comedies, they're really, really good. But yeah, don't steal rocks from sacred sites. And if the indigenous people of an area tell you not to climb something and not to desecrate something, don't do that. Like that's, I don't know, that just seems like common sense.
Rock, mailed from South Australia. The shipping alone must have cost hundreds of dollars. The anonymous sender included only a short note. 3 family members dead. Take it back before it kills us all. What makes these stories even more unsettling is that the Aboriginal Anangu...
I would like to see the sources for this. How do I know that these people, like, look, I don't doubt that you're going to get some bad luck and some bad juju, but like, how can I substantiate this? I'm going to Google this when I finish watching this video. Because I just feel like random British man could be putting anything up on the interwebs. You know what I mean? I don't know that I trust.
People don't actually believe their rocks carry curses. They simply ask that visitors treat their sacred land with respect. Yet somehow, thousands of tourists have experienced what they can only describe as supernatural revenge for disturbing this ancient place. Park officials now receive about 365 packages per year, one for every day. The returned items fill entire storage rooms, and the Anangu people face a difficult decision about what to do with them. They can't simply put the rocks back because they don't know.
I'm sorry, my little inner skeptic has to do this. Stolen rocks. Mailed back to Uluru. Okay, this might be legit. Tourists who steal rocks from Uluru Kata, I can't say that, National Park, often mail them back due to a belief that they bring bad luck or out of guilt. These return items, often accompanied by apologies, are referred to as sorry rocks. Rangers at the park receive these packages daily from all over the world. Well, yeah, don't steal shit from a sacred site. I don't know, kind of makes sense. I'm gonna look at that Jeopardy. I'm gonna see if I can find that Jeopardy show after this, Seb. See what they say about the Blue Mountains, because I want to know. It does have a very, very strange energy. I will say that. I don't like being there. I moved there when I was like 12 from Western Sydney. I moved to the Blue Mountains, and yeah, as soon as I finished high school, I moved back down to Sydney. Like within a week of finishing high school, I was like, nope, goodbye. It is very beautiful though, but yeah, there's definitely there's a lot of cults there, a lot of weirdos, a lot of just, yeah, it kind of seems where like the dregs of society go to play, to be honest.
Know exactly where each piece came from, and disturbing the landscape further might cause even more spiritual problems. University student Rebecca Matthews experienced something at Uluru that she still can't explain.
Uluru, please.
Later. She was part of a study abroad program travelling through Australia's outback in 2009. The group had stayed overnight in Alice Springs and left before dawn to reach Uluru for sunrise. Rebecca was the only student awake during the bus ride, staring out the window as the first light of dawn began to reveal the desert landscape. The bus slowed down and turned into an empty parking area near the base of Uluru. That's when she saw something that made every hair on her body stand up. There was this figure moving across the scrubland, she recalls. But it wasn't human. It was too tall, maybe 10 feet, with arms and legs that seemed way too long for any person. The weird thing was, even though there was enough light to see the trees and rocks clearly, this thing looked like it was made of pure shadow. What disturbed Rebecca most was how the figure moved. It didn't walk like a normal person. Instead, it had this flowing, swaying motion, like it was gliding just above the ground. The shadow figure moved with an unnatural grace that seemed completely wrong for something so tall and thin. Rebecca watched the shadow figure for what felt like several minutes, though it was...
I've seen something like that near Canangra Walls, just on the far side of the Blue Mountains, like this very deep canyon. I've probably seen an episode. It was playing all the time years ago. Yeah, I may have, honestly. But yeah, the Blue Mountains are one of the most beautiful places in the world, and because of living there for like 7 years, whenever like I go to a place that's supposed to be one of the most beautiful places in the world, I'm kind of like, meh. Is that the Grand Canyon? I mean, good for the Grand Canyon, I guess. Like, wow. I'm just so desensitized to like natural beauty that I'm just like, eh. Because I just lived in like one of the most beautiful places in the world for so long that I'm just like, eh.
Probably only about 30 seconds. She tried to wake her friend sleeping in the seat next to her, but by the time her friend looked out the window, the figure had vanished completely. I felt this electric shock run through my whole body when I first saw it, she says. Like every nerve was suddenly on high alert. I've never felt anything like that before or since. It was pure terror mixed with this weird fascination. The tour guide later mentioned that the Anangu people have stories about spirit beings that appear near Uluru, especially during the transition times of dawn and dusk. These spirits, called Mamu, are said to be the ghosts of ancient warriors who died during battles in the Dreamtime. Rebecca's experience matches dozens of other shadow figure sightings reported near Uluru over the past 2 decades. Most witnesses describe the same features: an impossibly tall, thin figure that appears to be made of solid darkness, moving with an otherworldly grace across the landscape. Tour guide Michael Stevens has been leading groups around Uluru for 12 years, and he's learned to recognize when the rock is having one of its active days. You can feel it in the air, he explains. There's this heaviness, like the atmosphere itself is holding its breath. Stevens has witnessed dozens of visitors suddenly stop during walks around the base of Uluru, claiming they feel like they're being watched. It happens most often near the Mutichulu waterhole. He says, people will be walking along normally, and then they'll freeze and start looking around nervously. Tourist photography often captures more than visitors expect at Uluru. Stevens mentions that people frequently show him their photos later, pointing out dark shapes or unexplained shadows that weren't visible when they took the picture. While we don't have access to these photographs due to
That's
copyright
convenient.
restrictions, park officials...
That's convenient. I want to see. Although I honestly believe this, like there's so many weird things about the Australian continent, and I've experienced a lot of weird stuff because, you know, I like to go camping by myself. Well, I did before I got sick. I like to go camping a lot by myself. I really enjoy the solitude of the bush, and I really just, you know, just enjoy just being the fuck away from everybody, honestly. It's, you know, it's very, you know, just communing with nature. It's very relaxing. And I've definitely seen a lot of weird stuff in the Australian bush, for sure. There's definitely a lot more going on, and because our country's so vast and there's so much of it that's unexplored, I think there's probably so many species of animal that we don't even know exist in Australia. There's gotta be, like, even like the panther sightings all over the Australian continent. Like there's gotta be either some type of native Australian feline or a marsupial that is kind of feline shaped, if you will. But my mum has seen the Blue Mountains panther, and her neighbor saw it on the same day as well. So, yeah, that's yeah, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on in this neck of the woods, guys. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Trutti? I'm gonna call you Trutti.
Officials confirm they regularly receive images from confused tourists asking for explanations. The feeling of being observed seems strongest in the early morning and late evening hours. Stevens describes how entire tour groups have fallen silent simultaneously, all turning to look in the same direction, as if drawn by an invisible force. I've seen grown men suddenly grab their wives and insist they need to leave immediately, Stevens recalls. They can't explain why, but something about the place just overwhelms them with dread. The Anangu people have always known that Uluru is home to powerful spirits. Their traditional stories tell of the Kurpani, a massive devil dog spirit that can shapeshift into different forms, including human-like ghosts called Mamu. According to Elder William Namajira, these spirits still guard Uluru today. The old people, they never fully left, he explains. They're still here.
Do you reckon he's related to Albert Namajira, the famous painter? Oh, those paintings are so beautiful.
Watching over the sacred places, making sure people show proper respect. The stories describe how the Kurpani attacked and killed several warriors during ancient battles, and those dead warriors remain trapped in caves within Uluru. Namajira points to specific areas of the rock where he says you can still hear the spirits of these ancient fighters. Sometimes at night, you can hear them moving around inside the rock, he says. Scratching sounds like they're trying to get out.
Look at, like, you can just see the spirals of the Milky Way because there's no light pollution there. Because the closest place is like Alice Springs, and that's ages away. That's insane. That's so beautiful.
The old people knew to stay away from those places after dark. These traditional ghost stories help explain why so many modern visitors experience unexplained phenomena at Uluru. The Aboriginal people believe the site contains layers of spiritual energy, built up over thousands of years of ceremonies, battles, and sacred rituals. Night guard David Palmer worked at the Uluru Visitor Center for 7 years before transferring to a different location. He refuses to discuss most of what he experienced during those nighttime shifts, but he did share a few incidents that convinced him the area is genuinely haunted.
Hey Catzilla, good to see you.
The building would be completely empty, but you'd hear footsteps upstairs, Palmer explains. Not settling noises or anything like that, actual footsteps, like someone walking around wearing boots. Palmer also describes seeing lights moving around the base of Uluru during his night patrols, even though no tourists were supposed to be in the area after sunset. When he investigated these lights, he never found any people or equipment that could explain them. The worst part was the feeling of being followed, he recalls. You'd be walking back to the building, and you'd get this overwhelming sense that something was right behind you. But every time you turned around...
I used to get that all the time in the Blue Mountains, besides like the girl that I used to see in my peripheral vision all the time. Yeah, there's definitely sometimes you're just walking and you'll just freeze. And you'll be like looking around. I don't know, you're just compelled to stop. And you just feel something. Like there's definitely some very ancient, I don't even know what you would call it, but there's definitely just these overwhelming like cold sensations that just come down your body. Even if it's like well into like over 40 degrees in the summer and you're not in the rainforest, but you're up in like the dry eucalypt forest, like up on a ridge or something. So it's like really, really hot. You sometimes can just get like this chill to your bone. And the Blue Mountains is also like another area in Australia that's like incredibly spiritually significant to the Indigenous people of the area.
Nothing was there. Palmer eventually requested a transfer after what he calls the incident with the voices. He won't go into detail, but he mentions hearing what sounded like a large group of people having a conversation somewhere inside Uluru itself, as if the voices were coming from within the solid rock. Electronic equipment often malfunctions around Uluru in ways that can't be explained by normal technical problems. Photographer Amanda Ross discovered this during a 2018 professional shoot when her camera equipment began acting erratically. My cameras would turn on and off by themselves, Ross explains. Fresh batteries would drain completely within minutes. I've been a photographer for 20 years, and I've never seen anything like it. Ross also experienced what she describes as time distortions while working near Uluru. She would start taking photos in what felt like early afternoon light, but when she checked her camera's timestamp, hours had passed without her realizing it. I lost almost 3 hours somehow, she says. 1 minute I was setting up a shot, and the next minute the sun was setting.
I do that all the time, but it's just my ADHD. I just haven't realized that I've hyper-focused on something and my day's just gone because I just went down some rabbit hole reading shit.
No explanation for what happened to that time. Cell phones and GPS devices also frequently malfunction near Uluru. Visitors report their phones randomly shutting down, even with...
What was the photographer doing there anyway? Lots of people like to take photos of Uluru. A lot of people do. I think because the sky's so insanely blue there and the soil's insanely red and the rock's insanely red. And then, there's some greenery and I think the contrast is just really beautiful. I think a lot of people, because it's in the middle of nowhere. If you've traveled all the way out there as well, I think you're going to want to take a lot of photos there. But I would never climb it. Like I don't want some like ancestral curse on me. But after we finish watching this video, I'm going to bring up if I can find anything about Mount Warning, because I know that you're not supposed to climb that. And my cousin and her family climbed it and a bunch of like stuff happened. And I told them not to do it. I think it's women aren't supposed to climb it. Because, yeah, like, they have, Indigenous Australians have like women's business and men's business. So there's like sites that only women can go to and sites that only men can go to. And it's like super bad if you go to a site that you're not supposed to, that your sex isn't supposed to go to.
Batteries and GPS systems giving impossible directions or showing locations that don't exist. The strangest aspect of Uluru's supernatural activity is that some spirits seem to be protecting people rather than harming them. Emergency responder Bradley Thomas has worked search and rescue operations in the Uluru area for 8 years, and he's noticed patterns that don't make logical sense. We've had people get lost in the desert around Uluru who should have died from exposure, he explains. But somehow, they end up finding water sources that aren't on any maps, or they stumble across shelters in places where there shouldn't be any. Bradley describes rescuing a family whose car broke down 20 miles from Uluru during extreme heat. They had no water.
If you ever go anywhere in Australia that's not one of the exterior roads, like the roads that go around the coasts of the continent, you need a satellite phone. Go to the supermarket, buy at least 10 liters of water, and if your car breaks down, stay with your fucking car, okay? I cannot emphasize this enough. Stay with your fucking car. Wait there until someone drives there. Even if you're on the Stewart Highway, it doesn't matter where the fuck you are. If you're crossing the fucking Nullarbor, I don't care. Stay with your car. If it takes 20 hours for someone to drive past, it takes 20 hours for someone to drive past. Stay with your car. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. Make sure you have at least 10 liters of water. It's not that hard. Make sure you've just had your car serviced. Don't, like, if you're a tourist, if you're a backpacker, don't buy like some Holden from the 80s and hope that you can drive around Australia in that, because you can't. It's gonna be like 45 degrees out there. Your car's gonna overheat and you're gonna fucking die. Sorry, but don't do it. Especially the outback. Yeah, especially the outback. Look, it's fine if you're like driving from Sydney to Melbourne, if you're driving from Sydney to Cairns, if you're going around the outside of the continent, it's, where everyone lives, that's okay. Especially the East Coast, you're going to be fine. Along the Southern Ocean coast, you're going to be fine. But yeah, the western and the north part of the continent, no one lives there. No one lives there. There's a few cities, a few very small cities, and that's it. And they're going to be like 20 hours, in between. So just don't do it. And if you do happen to break down, at least you've got 10 liters of water. I would take more, honestly. Have a satellite phone that's fully charged. And if you have to sit there and wait for 2 days for someone to get to you, then that's what you do. You stay with your car. Cannot stress that enough. Oh my goodness. Because the amount of people that the Australian, state governments have to spend rescuing dumbass backpackers that like bought a car for $600 off Gumtree and then like tried to drive around. Like, we just had to rescue some dippy German girl that like left her car and went off for a jaunt. She was gone for like 2 weeks. Why did she leave her car? If she had stayed with the car, someone would have found her in like a day. Insanity. Sorry, I've got a cough lolly in my mouth. Sorry if the noises are gross.
And no shade. But when the rescue team found them 8 hours later, they were sitting next to a small spring that local Aboriginal guides insisted had never existed before. The family kept talking about an old Aboriginal woman who led them to the water, Bradley recalls. She supposedly stayed with them for hours, keeping them calm and showing them which plants they could eat. But when we arrived, there was no sign of any other person in the area. Some of the most disturbing stories come from people who visit Uluru multiple times and notice that the place seems to remember them. Tourist Jennifer Walsh first visited Uluru in 2005 and had what she describes as a normal, pleasant experience. When she returned in 2010, things were different. From the moment I got off the bus, I felt unwelcome, Walsh explains. Like the place was angry at me for coming back. Every photo I tried to take
then I would just leave. If I am such a believer in listening to my gut these days, I'm like, nope. Nope, got a bad feeling. Like, if a person gives me a bad feeling these days, I've learned that, like, it might seem irrational, but in the long run, when I've had that feeling, when I initially meet someone, over time, it's proven to be correct. And yeah, like, people could say, oh, you're hysterical, you're this, you're that, or the other, but, you know, sometimes your brain is picking up on things, and, you should listen to it. That recent one gets a pass in your opinion because she crashed and got a head injury. Oh, did she? I didn't know the full story, to be honest. I was just like, oh, another fucking tourist. Here we fucking go. Yeah, sometimes I just read the headlines. I'm definitely guilty of that. Sometimes.
Came out blurry, even though my camera worked perfectly everywhere else. Her second visit was cut short when she became violently ill for no apparent reason. She recovered completely as soon as she left the Uluru area. It was like something was trying to drive me away, she says.
Yeah, so
I've
leave.
never felt so unwanted in my entire life. Other repeat visitors report similar experiences of feeling rejected by Uluru on subsequent trips. Some describe dreams where Aboriginal elders warn them not to return, while others simply develop an overwhelming sense of dread that forces them to leave early. Today, Uluru continues to be one of Australia's most visited tourist destinations, but it's also one of its most actively haunted locations. The combination of ancient Aboriginal spiritual beliefs and modern paranormal experiences creates a unique supernatural environment that affects
stunningly beautiful, though.
Every year.
Stunningly beautiful. I would love to go there. It's so expensive. It's cheaper for me to go to Japan and stay in Japan for 2 weeks than it is for me to fly out to Alice Springs and get accommodation, find a tour group. Cause I'm going on an air-conditioned bus, baby. How many hours? It's like 6 or 7 hours drive from Alice, isn't it? I know, it's far away anyway.
Whether these phenomena represent genuine supernatural activity or the power of suggestion amplified by Uluru's spiritual significance, one thing remains clear. This ancient monolith affects people in ways that science cannot yet explain. The Aboriginal people have always known that Uluru is more than just a rock. It's a living spiritual entity that demands respect and remembers every person who encounters it. For those who take something that doesn't belong to them, the memories can apparently follow them home. And for those who approach with genuine respect, the experience can be life-changing in the most positive ways. But regardless of how you approach Uluru, you'll likely leave with the unmistakable feeling that you've encountered something far more powerful and ancient than a simple geological formation. The spirits of Uluru continue their eternal watch, and their stories continue to unfold with each sunrise over the Australian outback.
Thanks for watching. That was Whispers in Nightmares 2. I'm gonna give it a like because I watched their content, and yeah, it was overall a good video. I did enjoy the AI rendering of the of the people and the office with all the rocks and stuff. I found that amusing. I enjoyed that. All right, I don't have a keyboard for this PC yet, so forgive me while I do this. Boop, boop, boop. Mount. Warning. Aboriginal. Oh, good. They've got an overview. Oh no, that's from the other thing. Aboriginal significance. Mount Warning, known as Wollongong to Aboriginal people, holds deep cultural and spiritual significance. Oh, if you've ever seen Ferngully, The Last Rainforest, if anyone knows that movie, I think it's like from the early 90s. But if you've ever seen, I think it's a Warner Brothers movie. It had like Robin Williams in it. He like did the voice of like a fruit bat called Batty. Anyway, that's set in the rainforest around Mount Warning. Mount Warning, known as Wollongong to Aboriginal people, holds deep cultural and spiritual significance for the Bundjalung Nation and other connected Aboriginal communities. It is considered a sacred site, particularly for the Bundjalung people, and it's associated with creation story, dreaming tracks, and traditional lore and custom. The mountain is known as the cloud catcher and a fighting chief of the mountains. Wollongong is a place of great spiritual significance, deeply embedded in the cultural identity of Bundjalung and other connected communities. The mountain is linked to creation stories, dreaming tracks, and traditional lore and custom, reflecting the complexity of Aboriginal culture and traditions. Where's the thing about not... Oh, the summit is closed out. The summit of the track of Mount Warning is currently closed to the public, reflecting the strong desire of Aboriginal custodians to protect the cultural and spiritual values of the mountains. Visitors are asked to respect the wishes of the Aboriginal custodians and avoid the summit track. But why? Don't climb. Let's see if it says why. It doesn't say why you're not allowed to climb it, but yeah, I know a family, well, they're my family actually, my extended family that climbed it, and they got some bad juju. They definitely probably got a little bit of an Aboriginal curse on them. So yeah, if you get asked not to climb something, probably don't climb it, I would say. That would be my advice. Oh, Tim Curry was in it too. Yeah, he played like Hexam, the spirit that's trapped in a tree, and then like a logging company traps open the tree, and it's like the fairies that live in the rainforest. I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's a cute movie. I liked it when I was a kid. Oh, let's look at the story of the three sisters in the Blue Mountains. That's a cool one. This is a breathtakingly beautiful place that I used to smoke weed at when I was a teenager. 3 Sisters, Blue Mountains. That is so loud. And the parrots that live in the Blue Mountains are so beautiful. Like, whenever I take a tourist around the Blue Mountains, they can't believe, like, there's just rainbow parrots everywhere. But yeah, it's just insanely beautiful. Oh, and there's like a type of crayfish that live in these little pools and stuff. I thought they were yabbies, but they're not yabbies. I used to when I was a kid, I just used to chuck bacon in there and then get a net and scoop them up. But apparently you're not allowed to do that. Whoopsie. And I used to eat them. That's the three sisters there. I thought this was going to have the legend, but it doesn't. Where's the legend? Oh, this is like somebody's school project where they have like royalty-free 80s music in the background. Pretty funny. According to the legend, three sisters of the Katoomba tribe fell in love with three brothers from a neighboring tribe, but were forbidden from marrying by tribal law. Oh yeah, I remember this now. Dun, 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 dun. According to legend, three. Oh, I already read that. It didn't change. The brothers were angry at this. Oh, wait. So you have the other one up for ages and you have that one up for... A witch doctor from Katoomba tribe decided to turn the sisters into stone to protect them. Only he could reverse the spell, but unfortunately he was killed in the battle. So the sisters tower above the Jamison Valley and are the most famous landmark of the Blue Mountains of New South Wales. There they are. I can't explain how beautiful it looks in real life. Like, it looks absolutely stunning in real life. Like, the colors in this video are very muted, but in real life, it's like insane, like blues in the valley, really deep greens because there's rainforest. Like, the Blue Mountains is like very strated types of forest. So, like, as you get high altitudes, you get like very dry scrub. But as you get down on the valley floor, it's like temperate rainforest. And there's trees in the Blue Mountains that were discovered from like the Jurassic period that people thought were extinct, and they were found in like a Blue Mountains valley, the Wollemi Pine. There's a lot of like really ancient like Gondwana? The supercontinent. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. Dating back to like, you know, the time of the dinosaurs. There's a lot of like ancient rainforest, and as you get like higher and higher altitudes, the type of forest changes. The Blue Mountains is also the only place in the world that has hanging swamps. It's an ecosystem known as a hanging swamp. And there's also these cute little, they're kind of like mini kangaroos, and there's like swamp wallabies and rock wallabies. And they're like, you know, they're basically like midget kangaroos, and they're super cute. They are super cute. Anyway, that's the legend of the three sisters. Oh. Oh, this is cool. I want to go to China. Let's watch the video about creepy places in Japan. That sounds like fun. Unless anybody has any requests for like any super spooky, scary stuff they want to watch, any particular mystery that they would like to have a gander at, a propaganda. Hang on, I'm just gonna have a quick break and I'll be back momentarily. is the screen? There it is. What? Stop. 10 most haunted places in Japan, terrifying horror stories and dark legends. Yeah, Japan's got some pretty spooky legends and like some pretty terrifying like yokai, like their little monsters. I want to get that. I want to get that coffee book. It's like the Book of Yokai or something. It's cool. I like all those legends. They're really fun. I need to get this type of production value, guys. I need I need this type of production value in my life. Subscribe.
Welcome to a chilling journey through Japan's darkest corners. In this video, we'll explore the 10 most haunted places in Japan.
Okay.
Where ghostly whispers echo and
That's
terrifying
Fuji.
legends come to life. From eerie tunnels to cursed forests, each location holds a tale of mystery and horror. Are you brave enough to uncover the spirits that still linger in these haunted places?
Sure, why not? Sure, why not?
1. Aokigahara Forest, Yamanashi.
Oh, this is a suicide forest. I mean, this isn't particularly like scary. I just think it's really sad. I just think it's really sad that like they live in such a high pressure society, and because of like sort of the remnants of like Bushido culture, and like, you know, bringing shame to their family, or, you know, feeling like the only way out is death, and this just became a popular spot for people to go and neck themselves. It's like, that's incredibly sad to me. I don't think it's scary. I think it's just incredibly sad. And don't even get me started on Logan Paul. Was it Logan Paul or the other one? I can't tell them apart, honestly. They both just look like gross, creepy people to me. So unsavory. Whichever Paul brother it was. What's the other one's name? Oh, I don't know. There's 2 of them, right? There is 2 of them. I don't know. Both unsavory characters. Like imagine seeing a dead body and like Jake Paul. Oh, Jake Paul. Which one's the boxer? Which one box? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're both awful people. But like, what type of sociopath do you have to be to like film a dead body and turn it into content? Like, I know some people have a stress response of laughter. Like, I know some people. Logan was the forest. Okay, cool. I thought that was his name, but I'm not entirely sure. Do they kind of look the same? They kind of do, right? Logan is both, you think? Oh, okay. I don't know. Like, I know some people's stress response is like to laugh when they feel uncomfortable, or like to laugh when you know something serious is happening. But I mean, it's not like he just saw the dead body and was like, oh God, like, what do I do? And just had some nervous laughter. Like, he went on to like fully disrespect like the person that had taken their lives. And he was just, I don't know. It was just so gross. It was just like such an indictment of his character. It was like sociopathic, like just lack of empathy. Like, that's a human being. I just, you know, even ancient prehistoric humans used to have like burial rites, right? This is something that we've understood as humans even before, you know, we had agrarian culture, and we had, you know, what we call human civilization. We always had death rites and burial rites and like that kind of ritualistic, you know, respect for the dead. And it's so inherent in our DNA. It's like, you know, almost like intrinsic behavior, but even that psychopath doesn't have it. That just doesn't exist for him. What an absolute poo-poo platter. What an absolute dickhead.
This is one of the most unsettling places in the world, located at the base of Mount Fuji, a destination not for the faint of heart. The Japanese government has even placed a sign outside the forest, urging visitors. Think of your children, your family. Your life is the most precious gift to your parents. For decades, Aokigahara Forest has been known as the suicide forest, due to the disturbingly high number of confirmed suicides within its depths. Those who enter the forest with dark intentions often cite reasons like heartbreak, depression, or financial ruin. The forest is a dense maze of towering trees with thick canopies that block sunlight, casting the ground below in eternal twilight.
I do wonder what kind of culture Japan has around mental health, right? Because obviously in the West, like going to get counseling and going to see a therapist and stuff is like very utilized. I think amongst like Generation Z, I would say it's even probably overutilized. I think there are a lot of people in counseling that don't need to be in counseling, honestly, and they're just overanalyzing things and creating problems that don't exist. But I do wonder if there is like that stigma about mental health. And I'm just asking hypotheticals because I don't actually know. But yeah, it's just incredibly sad. Like when you're in that much pain that you consider, you know, taking your life or take steps towards ending your life, like that's, if you've ever been there, personally, it is yeah, it's pretty dark.
To enter, even seasoned search teams often lose their way in the labyrinth of winding paths and ghostly silence. It's said that those who venture into Aokigahara never find their way out. The lore takes a darker turn when survivors who reconsidered their decision to end their lives describe feeling an invisible force pulling them deeper into the forest's shadows. This eerie presence is believed to be the spirits of those abandoned here during desperate times in Japan's past, a practice known as ubasute, where the elderly were left to die.
Oh,
To ease the
charming.
burden on struggling families. Aokigahara remains a haunted place, not just by the tragic history it holds, but by the whispers of restless spirits that still linger among its trees. 2. Okiku's Well, Himeji Castle.
Oh, that's a famous castle.
Nestled within the grand and serene grounds of Himeji Castle lies a chilling legend that haunts visitors to this day. Okiku's Well, unassuming at first glance, holds the tragic tale of betrayal, despair, and ghostly revenge. Okiku was a loyal servant at the castle, falsely accused of breaking a precious set of 10 plates by a vengeful samurai.
Oh, I think I've heard this
Despite
legend.
her innocence, she was tortured and thrown into the well to meet a watery death. But her spirit did not rest. Visitors to the castle claim.
Well, yeah, I would be a vengeful spirit too if I was tortured and thrown in a well over some broken crockery. Jesus Christ, like that's a bit of an overreaction, mate. Freaking dock her pay for the broken plates. Like it's not that deep.
To hear strange noises near the well after sunset. A soft, mournful voice counting plates, stopping abruptly at 9, followed by a blood-curdling scream. Some have even reported seeing a translucent figure, believed to be Okiku, emerging from the depths of the well. Her long, dark hair drips with water as she wanders the ground.
Is that where the ring? Is that where the is this like where the imagery for Sadako from the ring comes from? You know, the long stringy hair and like the white sort of tunic and the like. I have this thing that I want to do, right? Because I have really long hair, like hair down to my bum, and it's not jet black, but it's very dark brown. And there's a lot of people around my neighborhood that have like security cameras. So what I want to do is like put on a bunch of like black eyeliner around my eyes. And I want to like put my hair over my face, wear a black nightie, and just like stand in front of people's ring cameras, like kind of this sort of style. I don't know. I just want to do it because imagine going through your ring footage and just seeing that. It would be terrifying. It would be terrifying. And I don't know. I just want to do it. It seems like a good time, but it also seems like a lot of effort, and I'm incredibly lazy. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But it's just something that I've wanted to do. Cause it's like, what are you doing?
Searching for justice, she was denied in life.
Wow.
Even centuries later, the legend of Okiku's well chills the hearts of those who dare to approach it. Locals warn against lingering too long.
Yeah, don't.
Well, for her
you know what I would be doing? Staying the fuck away from this. Why do people have this morbid curiosity? Stop it. Like, my friends wanted me to go. This was when I lived in Sydney. There's like a quarantine station on the north head of Sydney Harbour. It's technically in Manly, I believe. And you know, you had to stay in quarantine back in the day before you came into Australia. And this is like a really, really old quarantine center where like a lot of people died of like, you know, tuberculosis and other like communicable diseases. And it's supposed to be incredibly haunted. So my friend calls me and she's like, we're going to a ghost tour to the quarantine center tonight. And I'm like, okay, like I suggest you don't do that. I suggest you don't do that. And she's like, yeah, do you want to come? And like, you know, she's telling me how much it is, and they're like gonna get the bus from here and they're gonna do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not coming. And at this point in time, I lived in an inner city suburb of Sydney. So, you know, I was just on the other side of the Harbour Bridge for reference. And I get like, so I don't know, the tour got back into like, you know, the correct side of the Harbour Bridge at whatever time it got back. And I'm getting all these texts from like these scared girls. They had to come and sleep at my house and they were like, blah, 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 blah. Something followed us, yada, yada, yada. And I come from like a very like superstitious Slavic family, and like I very much like practice all of like the old superstitious, you know, things. And everybody knows this about me, right? Like most of my friends think that I'm like some type of witch or, you know, something. So like, you know, whenever there's anything, you know, I'm the spooky goth girl that everyone goes to for like spiritual advice. And I was just like having to console these stupid girls, and I'm like, I told you not to go. Why did you go? Why did you go? Like, I just don't get those people that don't have any childhood trauma, because I have adrenaline pumping through my body all the time. Like, I don't need to go on a roller coaster. I don't need to like seek out like, being scared, watching horror movies, things like that, because I feel like I'm gonna jump out of my skin anytime. Like my housemate has to walk around whistling, because and even then I'll still jump out of my skin, because if they just walk into a room, I will jump out of my skin. I will scream. Like, that's how like hyper vigilant I am. I'm always on edge. So I really don't relate to people that like seek out like these high adrenaline like things, like, you know, like roller coasters and bungee jumping and stuff. I'm like, no, me and my childhood trauma, you know, we're good. We're good. We don't need that. We have that feeling all the time. I wish it would go away, quite frankly.
Spirit might reach out, dragging you into her eternal.
Don't show it. Don't show it. Don't show it. I'm scared. Okay, sorry. I'm expecting a jump scare, and I don't want it. I don't want it. Leave me alone. Ooh.
Oiranbuchi Bridge, Yamanashi.
Namanachi. Fibonacci.
High above a steep gorge in Yamanashi stands the Oiranbuchi Bridge.
Okay.
A picturesque location with a horrifying past. What seems like a scenic spot hides a sinister tale of betrayal, greed, and vengeance. During the Sengoku period, a powerful warlord discovered a hidden gold mine in this area. To keep the location secret, he ordered the execution of the Oiran, courtesans who had entertained and worked nearby and might have overheard his plans. The women were led to the bridge under the guise of a celebration, adorned in their finest garments. But as they admired the breathtaking view, the warlord's men cut the ropes of the bridge, sending the Oiran plummeting to their deaths.
That is messed up.
Waters below. Their cries echoed through the gorge.
Yeah, that's a good way to get some that's a good way to get some vengeful spirits. And yeah, there's definitely, you know, whenever you have these legends or yada yada yada, you're always gonna have a bunch of teenagers driving there in the middle of the night and daring each other to like go there. In the Blue Mountains in Wentworth Falls, there's I think it's the Queen Victoria Psychiatric Hospital. It's been abandoned for like 50, 60 years, but it's a really, really old building by Australian standards. I think it was built in like the early part of like the 19th century, which probably doesn't sound old if you're not from Australia, but you know, European history in Australia started in like 1788. So, you know, for us, it's old, okay? It's old. And yeah, like kids would always like drink outside it. And obviously, like, you know, it's all locked up. You're not allowed to trespass in there. But yeah, people would like get drunk and like dare each other to do that too. And I would always be the person going, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, you think I'm a wimp? Okay, cool. I'm not messing with that juju. Like, I am very, very respectful of the dead. Honestly, I don't mess with that. I don't mess with that type of stuff. I'm very respectful of everybody's religious practices. I'm like, your relationship with God is, you know, whatever, you know. Yeah, there's just certain things that I think are sacred, and I just don't think that, because it's almost like you're mocking. It's almost like you're mocking the dead in that way. Like, they're there for your entertainment, for you to get an adrenaline rush. Like, it just all seems like pretty unsavory to me.
And the area has been haunted ever since.
Yeah, no
Visitors
shit.
to the bridge today report chilling sensations, a sudden drop in temperature, or the sound of distant wailing. Some have seen spectral figures in traditional kimono wandering the bridge.
Beautiful.
Their faces filled with sorrow and anger. Locals warn travelers not to cross the bridge at night, for it is said the vengeful spirits of the Oiran.
How come she has blonde hair in ancient Japan? Where did she get that bleach from? I think these might be doctored photos.
May mistake you for one of their betrayers and drag you into the...
Oh yeah, this would definitely be a case of, if you're a man, don't go anywhere near that bridge.
abyss. 4. Old Chusetsu Tunnel, Fukuoka. The old Chusetsu Tunnel in Fukuoka is not just a crumbling relic of the past. It is a place steeped in fear and mystery. Abandoned decades ago, this dark and narrow tunnel has become infamous for the eerie encounters reported by those who dare to venture near. Legends tell of tragic deaths that occurred during its construction, workers crushed by falling rocks, accidents in the pitch-black darkness, and even whispers of sinister rituals.
You think this was in Ghost Stories, like the anime, where the voice actors just ad-lib the whole thing? That's so funny. That's some of the funniest stuff I've seen in my life. That was really, really well done.
Conducted within its depths. These tragic events are said to have left behind a powerful aura of sorrow and anger.
Well, then leave it alone.
Report hearing faint footsteps
No.
even when no one else is present. Some claim to see ghostly figures lurking in the shadows, apparitions of workers with hollow eyes, staring silently at passers-by. The air inside is said to grow.
I would just leave some flowers there, or, you know, whatever, like a bowl of rice, I think probably in Japan, like an offering to the spirits, and, you know, give a little respectful bow and walk away. I would not be, don't mock the dead. Like, just don't. Please heed my warning, guys. It's yeah. It's terrifying. I had some terrifying spooky experiences this year, but I think they were caused by a supplement I was taking, which hopefully. There's surprisingly a lot of Japanese folklore to do with tunnels. Yeah. Well, it is like a liminal, like a transitory sort of place. That's where like bodies of water and tunnels and things like that are usually seen as like portals or like entrances to like other worlds. I know in like Spirited Away, they go through the tunnel, right? They go through the tunnel before they get to like what appears to be an abandoned theme park in our worlds, and like the spirit realm bathhouse in the other world. But yeah, that is an interesting observation that a lot of them involve tunnels. You go the long way to avoid train station underpasses. Yeah, they are always really creepy. And like the people always feel compelled to like deface them as well. Have you noticed? Like there's never, it doesn't matter like if you're in an incredibly rich area, station underpasses are always covered with graffiti. Always. It's like people just feel compelled to like, you know, to tag them. Well, that looks like a face just over here.
Unnaturally cold, and cars often stall inexplicably near the entrance. One particularly chilling tale speaks of a lone motorcyclist who drove through the tunnel late at night. Emerging on the other side, he glanced in his rearview mirror and saw a pale woman in white.
Nope. No. Nope. I don't like it.
Sitting on the back of his bike.
Oh, Jesus.
Before he could react, she vanished into thin air. The old Chusetsu tunnel remains a place of intrigue and terror, where the past refuses to stay buried, and the spirits of the restless make their presence known. But
I have told these stories before on stream, but I'm just gonna tell like the most terrifying experience that I've ever had in my life happened this year. I think it was in April or March of this year. Anyway, so we've established that I've got like anxiety, that I'm a bit jumpy. Anyway, everybody's been raving about this like herb, ashwagandha, that's what it's called, ashwagandha. So I bought some and I found that it really brought down my anxiety. It made me feel really calm. And, you know, I was taking it every day. Anyway, I go to sleep. One night, I wake up. There's an old man with long white hair wearing like what I can only sort of describe as like a loincloth type thing. He's got long, straggly hair. He kind of looks like, if you know the Degoya painting, the Degoya's dark paintings. I think it's Saturn Devours His Son. It kind of like was very reminiscent of that. And I just scream. I scream so loudly. I have my eyes closed, and I know that I screamed out loud because my housemate heard me. And I have my eyes closed as tightly as I can. Anyway, I finally open my eyes back up, and there's this face. His face is about 3 centimeters away from my face. Like his face is right up close in my face. Blood curdling scream again. You know, my housemate just hears me screaming, so they run in and I'm just apologizing profusely, 100% convinced that I've seen a ghost. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I screamed, but there was a ghost, I was so scared, I'm so sorry for screaming. Have I ever looked up brutalist Soviet architecture? I have. I think it's designed to make people depressed. I think that was the intention of that style of architecture. I've actually saw a lot of Soviet brutalist architecture when I was in Mongolia. They have a lot of it. They have a lot of it around the Mongolian capital. Even though it wasn't technically a part of the USSR, there was still a lot of like USSR style architecture around there. Oh, thank you for following, Cold Cheese. Good to see you. Yeah, so I was 100% convinced that I had seen a ghost. I couldn't get back to sleep the rest of that night. And so I'm somebody that really wants to rationalize everything. Hello. That wants to rationalize everything. And, you know, I want there to be a scientific explanation for me seeing a ghost, because obviously I don't want my house to be haunted, not in this rental market. If you have a roof over your head in Australia right now and you're not a homeowner, you are incredibly fortunate. Getting a place to rent is incredibly hard. So I'm like, this place cannot be haunted, right? This place cannot be haunted because I cannot move. I'm not going to be able to find somewhere in this area that I can afford to rent. Like, it's going to be a whole thing. Anyway, so I'm racking my brain. I'm like, okay, what have I been doing differently? Have I ingested anything? Have I been anywhere strange? Could I have touched something and like transdermally, like, you know, got some type of hallucinogen in like my bloodstream? I'm racking my brain and I'm thinking, okay, what, like, has my rheumatologist put me on any new medications? No. And I'm thinking. And the only thing different that I've done, you know, in the last few months is I started taking ashwagandha. So I started Googling, can ashwagandha cause hallucinations? Yes, it can cause vivid nightmares and like waking nightmares. So it kind of interrupts the way that you transition from your different stages of sleep. So essentially, instead of transitioning slowly out of like the different stages of sleep before I woke up, I was waking up while I was dreaming. So I was seeing solid 3D things that I was perceiving with my 5 senses, but I was essentially dreaming with my eyes open. So it wasn't sleep paralysis because I could scream and I could move, although I was sort of frozen by fear, to be honest. And so I woke up during a nightmare, but you know, my brain was essentially projecting the nightmare into like my 3D space, like my bedroom, right? And interestingly enough, like my light was off, but during the hallucination, my bedroom was bright and I had like these weird cracks of light, like almost like lightning, like electricity cracks. It was absolutely insane. And then as the ashwagandha, because it kind of accumulates in your body and like you have it in your fat, like in your fat stores. So I did lose weight I was already very skinny, but I'm like, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to metabolize all of this ashwagandha because I'm not dealing with that. So I was already on pretty low calories because I like to count my calories because I'm a girl, I like to look good. So I brought my calories down from like 1,400 calories a day to like 1,000 calories a day. It stopped stuffies. It stopped once I stopped taking the ashwagandha. But for like the next like 6 weeks after that, I had lesser and like I had 3 more episodes of this happening, but the experiences were less vivid with the successive experiences, if that makes sense. And then it's just stopped and it hasn't happened for a good like 6 weeks or so. So I think it stopped and I'm never gonna take ashwagandha ever again. But it's so terrifying that like there's no warnings on that. And like I have so much empathy now for people that have schizophrenia because when you're perceiving something like that with your 5 senses, no wonder they think all their delusions are real. It's so terrifying. It felt so real. And yeah, I'm just glad that I worked out why it was happening, because I've never experienced like that. And now I'm wondering if like the supernatural experiences that I thought that I had when I was a kid, if they were just some type of hallucination. But yeah, freaking terrifying stuff, guys. It was yeah, it was horrific. But yeah, don't take ashwagandha, I guess is my I was actually reading that it's been banned in like some EU countries. So oh yeah, it was so scary. It was so scary.
Camp Hansen Inn. 3. Okinawa.
Oh, this must be an American base in Okinawa. Okay. You used to be a low-calorie obsessed person too, but you don't know if you were down to 1K ever. Oh, well, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which messes up my metabolic rate. So I only ate like 1,000 calories. So if I eat more than 1,400 calories a day, I will start to put on weight very, very rapidly. I'm a very small person, so sort of 50 kilos. If I weigh 50 kilos, I look chunky. And you know, I've discussed this with like endocrinologists. I've discussed this with a lot of specialists. Yeah, at the moment I'm eating like 1,400 calories, which is to maintain, for a normal person would maintain them at 50 kilos. For somebody who's 5'4" and my age, 1,400 calories would be like maintenance calories for that person. So I usually eat, you know, around, because I do work out, like I do have a high protein diet, I do lift, and I'm at the moment around 49 kilos, which is a healthy BMI for someone my size. But yeah, polycystic ovarian syndrome really messes. If you eat a normal amount of calories, you're going to get fat very quickly. So you do kind of have to watch it. But at the moment, because I'm lifting pretty heavily, I can eat maintenance calories for a normal person, because yeah, like lifting heavy, obviously to recover from that, you need a lot of protein, and you do burn, you know, on the days after you work out. So yeah, so I am eating at the moment the maintenance calories for somebody my size to maintain at a healthy BMI. So don't worry, stuffies. I was just trying to get the ashwagandha out of my system, because apparently it stores in your fat. And I'm not like, I don't have an eating disorder. We're all good. I look very healthy for somebody that has lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. That's something I get a lot from people going, oh, you don't look sick. You look quite healthy. You do carnivore? Ooh, I tried carnivore for a day. I bought tallow. I bought some steaks, and I was vomiting violently by the end of the day. I don't know what I did, but I think I'm gonna have to ease myself into it. Because yeah, it did not agree with my body. But I have heard that a lot of people have put their autoimmune issues into remission, which is why I wanted to try it, because I'm always in pain with my rheumatoid arthritis and my lupus. But I mentioned the other week that I'd gained a lot of weight. I'm pretty thin. Like, no one would call me fat, but I am somebody that has like, oh, from when I was undiagnosed, yeah, no, I did put on weight when I was undiagnosed for sure. But yeah, look, I'm happy with my weight, and I'm not, yeah, I just keep a rough idea of my macros, because I do need to have like a lot of protein. So I keep like rough track of, I'm not like, you know, somebody that's weighing my food and counting my calories like a psycho person, but I do like to keep like a rough. Also with rheumatoid arthritis, the skinnier you are, obviously with still keeping a healthy BMI, the skinnier you are, if you're more on the thin side, you have less inflammation. Like, being overweight does cause inflammation. So if you already have heaps of inflammation, you kind of don't want to be carrying any extra kilos, you know? But anyway, let's go back to Let's go back to Camp Hansen in Okinawa.
Located on the outskirts of Camp Hansen, Gate 3 is infamous among soldiers and locals for its terrifying paranormal encounters. Under the cover of night, this unassuming gate transforms into the site of spine-chilling stories that have persisted for decades. The most well-known tale is of the Marine Ghost. Dressed in a bloodied World War II uniform, this ghostly figure is said to appear late at night, flagging down passing vehicles. Witnesses recount stopping for what they thought was a law.
I don't know why, but like, military ghosts are particularly scary to me. There's this place on the outskirts of Melbourne called Diggers Rest, and a digger, for people that don't know, is like an Australian like World War I soldier. They call them diggers. And I don't know if that's like a place where a lot of soldiers are buried, but whenever I'm driving through there at night, I'm like, Diggers Rest. I'm just expecting to see like, you know, a soldier in like a slouch hat with like, you know, his old school rifle with his bayonet walking across the highway. And it freaks me the flip out. Carrying kilos sounds worse than carrying pounds. Well, a kilo is like, I think two times roughly a pound, like 2 times as much as a pound, I believe. Not exactly, but kind of like how roughly like 2 centimeters is an inch kind of thing. I think it's kind of like that. You know, it's not exact, but for someone like me who didn't grow up with the imperial measurement system, it's kind of like how I work out in my head. I roughly say like, oh, pounds are double. If it's in kilos, sort of double it to get pounds. That's sort of roughly how I do it. But yeah, I don't know. I should work out why Diggers Rest is called Diggers Rest, actually. But I'm always scared that I'm going to see like a World War soldier walking across the road. And it's always foggy there at night as well. Like there's always like a fog. And it scares me. Diggers Rest. Name. Diggers Rest is derived from its history as a stopping point for gold miners. Oh, it's got nothing to do with soldiers. It's to do with the gold rush. Okay, that's all right. And now I don't have to freak out about it anymore. It's a place where they used to stop on their way to the gold fields. Oh, thank God. Now I don't have to be scared about like the ghosts of soldiers rocking up on the highway when I'm driving through there. I definitely have an overactive imagination, I would say. I think a lot of the time we just scare ourselves. 2.54 centimeters to inches, 2.2 kilometers per pound. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I'll forget that though. I will forget that.
Lost soldier, only for him to vanish into thin air as they approached. Some say he looks into the car windows.
No!
His hollow eyes staring as if
why?
For help. Guards stationed at Gate 3 have reported hearing heavy footsteps, seeing shadowy figures darting through the darkness, and feeling an eerie presence.
People still do find gold out there, cold cheese. I saw a guy, probably last year, who found a $600,000 gold nugget out in the bush near Ballarat, which is like one of the main like places back in like the 1800s where the gold rush was on, it's like there's a place in Victoria called the Golden Triangle, and I think it's like Ballarat, Bendigo, and Hyperbovie, and you're from Victoria. Can you help me out? I'm not from Victoria. I just live here now. But anyway, it's called the Golden Triangle, and you can still find gold out there. Like this guy was out like in the bush with his metal detector, and it went off, so he dug and he found like this big piece of quartz, and he could see some gold. Well, what is the Golden Triangle in Victoria? I know it's Ballarat, Bendigo, and there's another place. Because it's a type of gold where it's like in a matrix. So like it's encased within like another mineral, and in this case, quartz. So this guy took this this piece of quartz that he could see had some gold in it. He took it to like I guess like a geologist, and he was like, "Oh, do you reckon there might be like $5,000 or $6,000 worth of gold in here? It's quite heavy." And the guy weighed it, and he looked at it, and he, you know, did all the testing on it, and he goes, closer to $600,000, mate, like $500,000 that this guy just found. So they're still like the biggest gold nugget ever found was found out there as well. There's a replica of it at the museum in Melbourne. So yeah, it's definitely worth it to get like a fossickers license, which I think is like $20. You pay like $20 to the Victorian state government and grab a metal detector. They were selling metal detectors at Aldi a while ago. Actually, my dad did say he bought one from Aldi and he would send it down to me. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna walk around the bush finding gold and retire. That sounds like a plan.
That chills them to the bone. The ghost is believed to be the spirit of a Marine who died during the war and continues to patrol his post, trapped in an endless loop of duty.
Yeah.
Despite its haunted reputation, some brave souls attempt to visit Gate 3 at night to catch a glimpse of the
Who are these people that are tempting fate? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Stop it. Cut it out. I just don't understand these people that are like, you know, bungee jumping and like going to places that they know are haunted. Like, why?
Spectral soldier. Most, however, leave with an overwhelming sense of dread, convinced that they've encountered something otherworldly. 6. The Round Schoolhouse.
Ooh.
Hokkaido. In the remote wilderness of Hokkaido, a peculiar abandoned building stands. A round schoolhouse shrouded in mystery.
Oh, if you watch the channel on YouTube Abroad in Japan, I think this is where PewDiePie and Chris Broad from Abroad in Japan went. They went to somewhere that looked like this. I don't know if it's this exactly, but there's like a Buddhist shrine in there that they found. I'm pretty sure this is where they went.
And fear. Once a place of learning, it is now notorious for the unsettling events that plague those who dare to explore it. The schoolhouse was abandoned decades ago after a series of inexplicable...
Oh, actually, that was a different round building they went to. I don't think it looked like this. Yeah, I don't think it looked like this. It must have been a different building. It did look the same from the top, though.
Disappearances and deaths among students and teachers. Locals began to whisper about a malevolent force residing within its walls.
Then don't go there. Knock it down. Burn it.
Visitors
burn it with fire.
Describe an overwhelming sense of being watched. Shadows seem to move of their own accord.
No.
And disembodied whispers echo through the empty halls. Some report hearing the faint laughter of children, followed by chilling screams that seem to come from nowhere. One spine-tingling legend tells of a group of thrill seekers who entered the schoolhouse late one night. As they explored...
Are there any thrill seekers in chat? Like, can you explain the psychology? Is it just like really enjoyable to have like that rush of being scared? Is that like... Because it's just something that I just can't relate to, and I don't know. I mean, obviously you're getting something out of it, right? If you're putting yourself in these situations. But what happens if you actually do see a ghost? Then what then? Like, what's the payoff? Because surely you don't actually want to see a ghost. You just want to be scared. Like, it's so hard for me to put myself in those shoes, right? It's so hard for me to relate to that. I just don't understand.
Discovered a room filled with old desks and decaying textbooks.
Well, yeah, it was a school. You would think there would be desks.
And they heard the sound of children crying. When they finally forced the door open, one of their...
Seeing a bunch of like old school stuff in a school would be the least scary thing about this, I would assume. You like going into the unknown thrill, not skydiving thrill. oh, I like exploring things. I love exploring. And I'm totally fine to go camping by myself and things like that. But it's the going to somewhere where like people are like, oh, this place is haunted. Like, because what's the outcome? You go there and you get scared and you don't see a ghost, or you go there and you come into contact with something supernatural and something bad happens to you. Like, that's what I don't understand. I think you would have to like not actually believe in ghosts to go there, right? Because surely you don't want to have that type of encounter.
Group was missing.
Because like people that are super into aliens, they don't actually want to get like anal probed. Well, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe that's like some type of kink. I don't know. But I don't know. Just it doesn't make sense to me.
Never to be seen again.
Oh, that's creepy.
Locals warn against approaching the round schoolhouse after dark, as it is believed that those who enter may never return, lured into the clutches of whatever sinister entity haunts its decaying halls. 7. Inunaki Village, Fukuoka.
Fukuoka.
Inunaki Village, once a thriving community in Fukuoka, now stands as an eerie, abandoned ghost town, seemingly lost to time. It is said to be cursed by dark forces, and its empty roads and crumbling houses are a chilling reminder of its haunted past. The village became notorious after a tragic series of murders in the 1970s, when a family was slaughtered in their home under mysterious circumstances. The killings were never fully explained, and the locals believe that the spirits of the murdered family still linger in the area, seeking revenge for their untimely deaths.
Yeah, if I was murdered, I would seek revenge.
The village report an overwhelming sense of dread as they walk through its desolate streets. Strange sounds, like the eerie clink of chains,
No.
soft padding of
Nope.
footsteps.
No.
echo through the
No.
night.
No.
Others have seen shadowy figures darting between the buildings, only to vanish when approached. One particularly horrifying tale speaks of a traveler who ventured into the village one evening, hoping to capture photos of the ghostly landscape. As night fell, he saw a figure standing by the old well, a woman in tattered clothing, her face hidden beneath her long hair.
Red rum. Oh, The Shining. The Shining messed me up. I had an older cousin when I was little. Well, I still have an older cousin. She's not dead as far as I know. But she babysat me a few times. The first time she babysat me, she made me watch The Exorcist. And the second time she babysat me, she made me watch The Shining. And I think I'm still traumatized from watching those movies, honestly. I think I'm still traumatized. That was so evil. That was such an evil thing to do. And like my brother and my sister were like, well, my sister is like developmentally delayed, so I don't think she was like traumatized by it. And my brother was like, you know, too young to watch horror movies and understand them, so they came out unscathed, and my youngest brother wasn't born yet. But I was just the right age to be traumatized by The Shining. So yeah, I always remember like the old lady. I haven't watched The Shining since I was like 5 years old, but I will always remember the old lady in the bath. I will always remember that. It's and I'll like there's just certain scenes from The Exorcist that I will always remember. It's I like to watch on YouTube. I like to watch interviews of like Catholic priests that are exorcists. What like being interviewed about like their experiences. I do believe in demonic possession. I think there are some people that's like there's no way a person is doing that. There has to be some type of entity pulling their strings for them to be that fucking evil, you know. I do believe in that. And it comforts me to know that, like, you know, the power of Christ can, like, save me.
She turned toward him, and as he tried to approach, her eyes gleamed with an unnatural red glow. The man fled, but his car stalled on the road out of town, and he was never seen again. It is said that the spirits of Inunaki village are still angry, their cries rising from the ground as they search for new souls to join them. In their
No.
cursed existence.
No.
8. Himuro Residence, Tokyo.
Hmm.
Tucked away in a quiet, forgotten corner of Tokyo,
Oh, that's cool.
stands the Himuro Residence, a house notorious for its connection to terrifying supernatural events.
I didn't realize there was so much greenery in Tokyo. Look at that.
The once grand estate is now a decrepit ruin, but its chilling reputation lives on. The residence gained its dark notoriety after the mysterious death of the Himuro family, who were said to have practiced ancient and forbidden rituals within its walls. It is
Oh, do you guys know about this straw doll ritual that is like illegal in Japan? It's like when you go to a shrine and you have like this straw doll and you like nail it to the tree. It was in like a video game as well recently. I'll look it up after this.
rumored that they saw
But it's actually illegal and you can go to jail in Japan if you do it. It's like a curse that you put on somebody, but like everybody in Japan, like, you know, it's something that's like very feared and like very respected and like people like really believe in it.
sought immortality, using dark rites that involved sacrifices and blood magic. As the family became obsessed with these rituals, their sanity crumbled, and a horrific series of deaths followed. The last known members of the family were found lifeless, their faces frozen in expressions of pure terror.
I know this isn't a picture of the house. I know this is some random art, but it looks like it's probably a really beautiful house. It's a shame that it's like just being left to decay. But obviously no one would want to live there.
Those brave enough to visit the Himuro residence speak of a heavy, oppressive atmosphere that suffocates the air. Unexplained noises, like the sound of whispering voices or the faint scrape of nails against wood, can be heard from the darkened rooms. Some claim to see the apparitions of the family members, their eyes wide with fear.
Oh,
forever
God.
Trapped in their endless torment. One particularly disturbing tale recounts a group of ghost hunters who ventured inside.
Why?
As
Stop
they
it.
explored, the temperature dropped drastically, and they began
Okay, there's no way there's just a creepy doll sitting in that house. Stop it. You're trying to hurt me.
hearing footsteps echoing through the halls. When they turned a corner, they saw a woman in white, standing motionless at the end of the corridor,
Why do ghosts always have to wear white?
hanging like a curtain around her face. They fled in panic.
Yeah, I
but
would
one of them
too.
vanished without a trace.
What?
The Himuro residence stands as a place of darkness, its past entwined with a legacy of suffering and dread. It is a place where the veil between the living and the dead is thin.
No.
Those who dare to enter risk being consumed by the spirits that still linger there. 9. Doryodo Ruins, Tokyo. Hidden away in the bustling streets of Tokyo, the Doryodo Ruins are one of the city's most eerie and forgotten sights, a place where the past's dark secrets still echo in the present. Once a thriving temple, the ruins are now a decaying reminder of the horrific events that took place there.
Ooh.
The temple was the site of a gruesome massacre during the Edo period.
Oh,
when
so
a
it,
group of
a really
monks
long
turned
time
on each
ago
other
then.
In a violent dispute over power. The bloodshed was so intense that it is said the ground itself absorbed the anguish and anger of the monks,
Probably.
trapping their spirits in the area forever. Locals whisper that the spirits of the monks still haunt the Doryodo ruins, their tortured souls unable to find peace. Visitors who approach the site report feeling
Yeah, I wouldn't be going there, that's for sure. Nope. Nope. That's a whole lot of nope.
an intense sense of unease, as if invisible eyes are watching their every move. Many have heard faint chanting, carried on the wind, or seen fleeting shadows moving among the ruins. A particularly disturbing story recounts the experience of a young woman who dared to explore the site alone at night. She claimed to have seen a monk in tattered robes standing before her.
No.
Eyes glowing with an unnatural
No,
light.
Fran. Fran.
As she turned to flee, the ground beneath her seemed to shift, trapping her in place. When she managed to break free and leave, she could still hear the chanting, now louder, as if the monks were calling her back. The Doryodo ruins remain a haunting reminder of a violent past, where restless...
Why, like, I don't know if they were Shinto monks or Buddhist monks, because there's Shinto and Buddhist shrines in Japan. But why are, like, nuns, like, Christian monks, Buddhist monks, Shinto shrine maidens, Shinto monks, like, why is it always like them that are in horror movies? Like, how scary are nuns in horror movies? Jeez, like, it's just
Spirits continue to linger, their sorrow and anger still lingering in the air, waiting for the next unwary soul to wander too close.
I remember when, I think it was Dark Souls 2, I remember when that game came out and I couldn't play it because I think it was the Deacons of the Deep. They were just like these like monks in robes just like walking around, like, oh, it scared me. I couldn't sleep. I was terrified. Like, I'm not playing this game. It's too scary for me.
10. Kiyotaki Tunnel, Kyoto. The Kiyotaki Tunnel, built in 1927, is a dark, ominous passageway through the mountains of Kyoto, its eerie reputation growing with each passing year.
Have I watched The Nun? No, I saw the poster for The Nun and I was terrified, cold cheese. I saw the poster and that kept me up at night. And the first time I saw a picture of that Momo thing that was going around, I was also terrified and couldn't sleep. I don't even need anything else. I just need to see that and I'm, you know, that's me done.
At 444 meters long, the tunnel's number alone carries a sinister weight in Japanese culture. 4 is considered cursed.
It's the death number.
13 in Western superstition. But it's not just the number that makes this tunnel terrifying. It's the restless spirits that haunt it.
I think it's in the Chinese. I think it's in Chinese that the number 4 sounds like the word death, or the kanjis or something like that are similar. It's something like that.
The Kiyotaki Tunnel is infamous for the countless workers who perished during its construction, enduring harsh and grueling conditions. The toll of their suffering is said to have left a permanent mark on the tunnel, with their spirits still lingering within. In addition to the construction deaths, the tunnel has become notorious for its role as a site for tragic road accidents, and it is rumored to be a popular suicide spot due to its seclusion. Witnesses have reported seeing strange figures in the tunnel.
No.
Ghostly apparitions
No.
that appear
No,
suddenly,
no.
vanishing just as quickly. Some claim to have seen a woman dressed in white near the tunnel's entrance, her face hidden, her tragic fate sealed by a fatal leap from the road above. Her spirit, it is said, still wanders, seeking peace. But it's not only the figures in the tunnel that make it terrifying. A mirror inside the tunnel is said to reflect eerie, otherworldly images, sometimes the ghosts of those who perished there. The most chilling stories involve drivers who have encountered these spirits. Some claim to have felt an icy presence sitting in the back seat.
Is there an alternate? Is there like a detour? Because I would avoid this. I would avoid this at all costs. Deacons of the Deep was Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 2 had the Skeleton Lords. Oh, it must have been Dark Souls 3. I can't keep up with them, honestly. Because like between like Bloodborne and like all the other like similar games, Miyazaki games, I don't know, I can't keep up with it.
To find themselves paralyzed with fear as they approach the tunnel's exit. In some cases, drivers have reportedly died in accidents, seemingly driven to madness by the spectral figures haunting the tunnel.
Yeah, let's not drive through there.
Dread, where the past and the present collide, and the spirits of the lost continue to seek vengeance and rest.
I wouldn't be going anywhere near that. I would, if I had to drive an extra 2 hours to avoid going through that tunnel, I'm driving I'm paying for the petrol. I'm like leaving my house 2 hours early, whatever. Like, I'm not going through that tunnel. No freaking way. All right. Well, that video was from True Creepy Experiences. I'm going to give it a like and a subscribe because I just, you know, use their content for my content. In a fair use, a transformative way, I might add. Hyperbovian was kind enough to find out what that curse that I was talking about was called. So we're gonna have a look at that. It's the one with the straw doll where you like pin it to a tree at a Shinto shrine and like curse people, and it's like illegal in Japan to perform it. And people really, really believe in it, so. Let's have a look.
A curse, in many cultures, is believed to be a form of supernatural power. It can be cast through spells, charms, blood, or rituals performed.
You'd think there'd be specters on London Bridge considering there's human remains embedded in the foundation. There's human remains all over London. Honestly, it's I wouldn't be surprised. I was watching this documentary. I can't remember what the city is called, but it's in Bolivia. I think it might be the capital of Bolivia. But there's purposefully a dead body in the foundations of every building in the capital. Like it's some type of. And they have like a witchcraft market there, and it's like I believe like some type of like, not Santeria or something like that, but it is like an amalgamation of like the indigenous religion and like Catholicism. But it's not like, yeah, it's not like, because I know Santeria is like, and hoodoo are sort of along those lines, but it's not exactly that. It's something else. But yeah, you can buy like dead animals and like all types of like weird stuff for witchcraft. I'll have a look at it when I finish this video, but yeah.
Formed at the most ominous hours. People use specific words, actions, or ceremonies to bring misfortune, illness, or even death upon someone.
Jesus Christ, that scared me.
The curse you've ever heard of.
Was that jump scare fucking necessary? Oh my flipping God.
Feel free to share it in the comments. In Japan, there is an ancient curse known as Wusi no Toki Mairi, or the cursing ritual of the Hour of the Ox. According to legend, a woman appears in the dead of night, between 1 and 3 a.m., dressed in white, with an iron ring on her head holding lit candles. She bites down on a wooden comb and carries a hammer and a straw doll as she performs a dark ritual. People call her the Wusi no Tokiana, the woman of the cursed hour. She comes for one reason only: revenge. In today's video, we'll explore one of Japan's oldest and most terrifying curses, the curse of the Wusi no Tokiana. Just how frightening is it? I'm Mr. Yao, and welcome to the Legend Yokai channel. Here, I explore famous yokai and urban legends. If you're into these topics, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos.
Oh, they're all so pretty. She's not. She's terrifying.
In Japan, curses are not just legends. They're feared as real, terrifying forces. From ancient...
His editing style is very good if you like being scared, but I'm finding this very scary. If I scream, it's just because I'm a very jumpy person. If there is a jump scare, I am gonna scream, just to let you guys know. Hopefully it's not straight into the mic, but yeah, this video has already given me a few jumpies, but we'll see how we go.
To modern tales like Sadako's cursed videotape. Some curses have lingered for centuries, while others claim lives overnight. Each one is fueled by a grudge that can never be resolved. In ancient times, Japan had a class of mystics known as Onmyoji. They were responsible for divination, setting calendars, and protecting the nation from evil spirits. But not all Onmyoji served with pure intent. Some used dark sorcery driven by personal desire or hatred, giving rise to some of the most chilling curses that still haunt Japan today. In ancient Onmyo-dore texts from the Heian period, the hour of the ox, between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., was described as the time when yin and yang collide and grudges...
It's so interesting how, like, because this is kind of like the ox and, you know, the tiger and all the other, you know how, like, you're born in the year, in, like, East Asia, you're born in, like, the year of the ox, or you're born in, like, the year of the tiger or the year of the snake, and then they have, like, the hour of the ox, the blah, 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 blah. And in Western astrology, there's, like, you know, the hour of Venus, the hour of Mars, the hour of blah, 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 blah. And in Western, like, sorcery, that's what they use. So, like, say if you want to do a love spell on somebody, you would do it on, like, Friday, which is the day that's associated with Venus, and then you would calculate the hour of Venus and, like, do the spell of, like, you wanted to use a put a curse on someone, you might use, like, Mars and the hour of Mars, or you might use Saturn and the hour of Saturn, or you might use Saturn and the hour of Mars, or something like that. It's like, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting how there's, like, some parallels.
Reach their peak. It was believed to be the moment when curses were most likely to take effect, an ideal window for those practicing dark rituals. During this hour, one of the oldest and most terrifying curses was said to take place. The Wusi no Toki Mairi. According to legend, a woman consumed by hatred would secretly visit a shrine late at night, carrying a straw doll inscribed with her enemy's name. Under the cover of darkness, she would nail the
We've all been there, haven't we, ladies?
Driven by rage, chanting curses as she hammered long 5-inch nails into
Aw, why aren't they 9-inch
each
nails?
strike. She was believed to drive her grudge deeper into her target's body. This ritual had to be performed during the hour of the ox and repeated for 7 consecutive nights without interruption. It said that the cursed victim would first feel a strange heaviness in their body.
Well, that's what you get for
Then for
cheating.
several
I
nights,
assume.
they
I
would
assume that's why she's doing it.
to a tree, waking up each time in a cold sweat, heart pounding. Soon, they would develop an unshakable fever, begin to hallucinate, and act erratically. No doctor could find any cause. And if the ritual was completed, if all 7 nights were fulfilled, then with the final nail, the curse would be sealed. What followed was always the same. The victim...
I swear I saw somewhere in some video that this is illegal in Japan and you can get arrested if you go to a shrine with, like, 3 candles on your head and with the doll and everything. Let me just... Sorry just to go off on a tangent, but ADHD is a hell of a drug. Let's, About the curse, an illegal dark magic ritual often performed by jealous or scorned women at Kyoto. It's always about a bloke at the end of the day. If some woman's, like, trying to curse somebody. I can't find anything about, like, any laws or something saying that it's illegal, though. In order to perform an Ushi no Tokai Mare curse, the practitioner wears white and tall clogs, yada yada yada. I can't find anything saying it was illegal, but I swear I heard that somewhere.
Victim would either drop dead without warning or vanish in a madness, never to be seen again. This is Wusi no Toki Mairi, a forbidden ritual shrouded in resentment and darkness. The one who performs the curse is often a woman consumed by hatred. People call her the woman of the cursed hour.
Well, in a lot of like Mediterranean cultures, like I'm sure you've probably seen like the evil eye medallions, which protect you from like the evil eye. In a lot of cultures, just having pure blind hatred or jealousy of somebody is a curse within of itself, right? It's called like the evil eye. So that's why you'll see like those blue, white, and black things around like Turkey and Greece and Italy as well. Because they protect you. Because like, yeah, if somebody like covets what you have or like they're jealous of you or they hate you, according to like, you know, ancient Mediterranean culture, especially in Turkey and in Greece, you'll see these everywhere. And that's to protect you from like somebody's jealousy essentially. Which is interesting. I think strong emotions like that, you know, do have like some type of effects.
A popular curse in pre-modern Japan was the Ushinokokumai, and we're gonna learn how to do it together, step by step. Step 1. Confess your resentment at a local shrine or temple between the 1 and 3 a.m. time bracket called
Okay,
Ushinokokumai.
I will do that.
By the way, in Japanese people's minds, Shinto gods and Buddhist deities, they're practically the same thing. When Buddhism was introduced in Japan over 1,000 years ago, Japanese people were like, oh, we're importing new gods. No, these Buddhas are not gods. They are beings who reached nirvana. And what is nirvana? That is
A grunge band from the 90s.
people have lived with that
There you go.
delusion until now. So do you confess your resentment at a Shinto shrine or a Buddhist temple? Doesn't matter. Whichever is closer. Step 2. Dress yourself in all white, wear 3 candles on your head, and hang a mirror from your neck. Make sure to change into this eerie outfit in the bushes at the shrine or temple, instead of wearing it when you leave home. Because you don't want people to see you. Not only is it obvious what you're doing, you will forever be stamped a creep. And step 3. Find a convenient tree, take a doll made of straw, and hammer a nail into the location you want your nemesis to feel excruciating pain. They will die from the pain if you continue this uncanny ritual for 7 consecutive nights.
Ooh.
That's it. I checked Rakuten, the biggest e-commerce site in Japan, and they sold a straw doll, 7 nails, and a hammer, ready to go. Behind the main building of Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto, there's a shrine that keeps a cedar tree that was actually used for Ushinokokumai. Not just once! So the next time your boss or staff is being stupid for the 50th time, don't lash out at them. You know what to do. A popular curse.
Well, I can't find anything about the legality of it, but like, how do you arrest somebody for putting a curse on somebody? I don't know, it seems a bit... Yeah, we don't need to watch this because it looks quite scary, honestly. I like sleeping at night. Well, I have been streaming for over 2 hours, and I am going to do my normal stream at 9 p.m. tonight where, you know, we talk about the news and we do all that jazz. So, illegal possession of candles. Well, I mean, if it's summer in Australia, I feel like you could get arrested for lighting candles outside if you start a bushfire. Oh yeah. So I think that's probably it until I'll probably just stream at the usual time tonight at like 9 p.m. But it's been fun, guys. Thank you for hanging out. See you next time. Bye.